Hey everybody, what's up? This is Ronnie, Hard Pickers, coming to you today with a video, and we're going to talk about what sold last. This is probably 3 weeks of February, from like the 9th or 10th to the end of the month, which we all know is a short month, only 29 days. It was a leap year. Forgot about that one. So we're going to talk about some things that sold. We're going to get into a little details. We're going to try and make it quick at the same time. But I'd also like you to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. So let's get into it. Let's roll this beautiful eBay footage. So first 19 of these items are going to have sold for over $100. And then there's 3 I threw in there just because 2 of them sold very quickly. And I just wanted to get the ball rolling here and show some different things. So these first 3 sold a little bit less, but they sold quickly and are unique enough that they can bring some money. This right here is a Missoni men's cotton short sleeve polo shirt, 2 extra large. You could see right here, this has that like multicolored geometric pattern that was popular. This is like from the 90s, I would say. There's the tag right there. They're more known for their women's clothing, but some of their men's clothes does well. I've had some luck with their sweaters, their polo shirts that are multicolored and crazy geometric patterns. But here's some of the tags right here. This polo we had, my wife picked this up with me. She found it, I think it was $2.99 at a Savers, which is kind of low. This was the same day actually that we ran across the Supreme jacket in the thrift store. I don't know if many of you guys remember that video, but this sold for $70 and it took 45 days to sell. So their women's stuff does well. Not really the Target Missoni stuff. You really kind of want to stay away from that, of course, because it's mass produced. There's way more of it. It's not just a collaboration. It's cheaply made. It's not really all that great. This other item here sold literally in like a minute of listing. As you see, it was a 0 restricting wind stopper quarter zip pullover, and it had a golf logo on the front. This OS is for Old Sandwich in Sandwich, Massachusetts. And this was actually a really nice looking jacket. I've had some luck selling this brand here, but there's certain pieces I stay away from. There's certain pieces I buy. You got to be very picky with what you pick up from this brand. But this piece sold pretty quickly and fast. This literally sold within a minute of listing and sold for $80 plus shipping. And if you can see right here, this literally had one view. So it tells you how fast that sold. As soon as I listed it, the first person that viewed it bought it. They didn't care I had a golf logo on it. I'll tell you, all day long people will buy stuff with golf logos, but you gotta know where the logo is for. That's a big plus, like anything. This is a Tracy McGrady. Some people know him as T-Mac. This is that vintage. It's probably not vintage. Why I didn't put vintage in the title. It's probably like 15 years old. Might be pushing 20 or so. Nike Swingman sewn jersey. The sewn ones are the Swingman. Let me see right there. Got the Nike emblem. It has the star, Orlando. Really clean, nice condition. I either paid $4.99 or $5.99 for this. Really nice. Size small. And this actually went over to Japan. So there it is, a McGrady. He was a nice Irishman. Nice Irish basketball player. But This sold, I took a best offer of probably 15 minutes of listing it for 65, 60 or 65 with free shipping. And this was fairly light. It cost probably like under $4, about $4 to ship. So sometimes you get that first offer and you're like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm good with that. I'm out. So these swingman jerseys do well if you can find the right players, the right teams. They fluctuate. I mean, if you find a Kobe Bryant one right now, unfortunately, because of the situation, they're worth money. We're going to get into a few suits here. This is a Canali suit. This has been listed forever. And when I mean forever, I'm talking probably 2 years. We don't do our pictures this way anymore. So that's how I know. It's also, I go by the inventory numbers. I put an inventory number here to keep track. And, this one was a while ago. This is probably 2+ years ago. And, it's probably an older style suit. That's why it has the 3-button front. Not too many people are looking for that style now. But you may have somebody that is used to that style. They're not going to switch it out. They're set in their ways. And this was a 44 long. And it's the blue tag. Canali, so probably dating this probably around early 2000s, if I had to say. So it's a little bit older. I paid up for this because we bought it with a bunch of other jerseys in Richmond, Virginia, in November of 2017. So what's that? It's actually like 2 years and 3 months or something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. So I'm really picky about these ones right now. The silver, the brown labels, kind of the in-between between the blue, and now they have the silver label, which also has the numbers 1934, I believe, on them. That's the more current label right now that they have. Canali can be all over the place. I leave some of these behind. Just the padding on the shoulders and everything. It's just an older jackets. I kind of learned to leave these behind if they don't fit a certain criteria. And padding in the you can't really fix that. If it has a lot of padding in the shoulders, that was the thing big in the 90s, early 2000s. You can't fix that. So it's not like you can just open up the jacket and so it wouldn't be cost efficient to do that. This is a brand that I come across every once in a while, and sometimes I leave it behind, sometimes I don't. It's Samuelson. This had a few things going for it. I paid like $4 or $5 for it. It was only listed for 8 days, and we got $112, as you can see, plus shipping. And it had a nice blue check pattern there. So it was really nice. I thought the pattern stand up. 2-button front, which is a little bit more in style. Dual side vents here, as you can see. There's the Samuelson tag. Has a little heart on it, like me. Heart. This was a nice, I had some things going for it. It's a size 48 long, which is good. That's a good size. Anytime you get over like 46, you're getting into like 2X neighborhood and plus. So these start to, they're more for the bigger men. And this was also a wool and linen mix, which also adds to the that picture didn't come out too great, did it now? But like we said, we sold it. It sold for good money, and happy about it. This suit right here we got while we were in New York visiting my parents for Christmas. And the brand is Jack Victor. It's a hit or miss brand. I kind of still will pick up their suits occasionally. I will pick up their jackets. You tend to see them often with Laurel Piana fabric, and it still doesn't help them sell all that well. What sold this was, it was a 50 regular. So once again, we're getting into a bigger size. It was 100% wool, and somebody wanted this, somebody needed this, and that's a good thing. So it had some good qualities for it. I think we paid about $10, and it took about 10 weeks to sell. This right here was a nice outerwear jacket. I kind of picked this up near the end of the season. This took 17 days to sell. This is a Patagonia Nano Puffer Primaloft jacket. It's a mouthful, but it's like one of these thin puffer jackets. Really nice. It was like a gray color. There's the Patagonia tag. Gotta love it. Love the mountain range. I have a bunch of hats by Patagonia that I found over the time. And we were into this for $20. It sold for $120. And like I said, it took 17 days to sell. This time of year, I'll pick up jackets, but I want them to kind of move in a quick manner. And I was happy to move that jacket in a quick manner. Patagonia sells, for the most part, very well if you find the right pieces. There's a lot of pieces at Patagonia that there's way too much. Button-up shirts, for the most part, are a hard sell for me. And most of our thrift stores are priced through the roof anyway. This is a Tumi bag. And this was like a rolling briefcase, carry-on luggage, laptop. It was that nylon ballistic material with the leather trim. We found this probably 5 or 6 years ago, probably longer. Probably going back like 6, 7 years ago. This was one of the first Tumi bags we found, and we actually kept it, and we used it, got some use. I mean, you can see right there, has some scuff marks and everything like that on it. But it works fine. We just really didn't have a need for it anymore. Tumi makes some really high-end quality luggage. You go to find some of these pieces, and you're talking $100 to several $100s for a lot of these bags. We took an offer on this of $100. I had it priced way too high. We were into this for $25. Now, if I would have sold this 5, 6 years ago, this specific bag was selling more in the $200 range, $250, but we used it, and they've come out with newer bags and nicer bags. So, and this one was, we did get some use out of it. So we flipped 25 into 100. I remember getting it at our local Salvation Army before they moved, and that was a good flip. I mean, once I listed it, because it was just kicking around for a while, we use other bags now. It took about 6 months to sell. So the next item right here, this is a Charles Tri-Wit, something around that thing. I picked up 3 of these suits. There was probably 6, but some of them had a lot more wear on them. And it was weird because all the jackets, the pants and the jackets were separated. So in the beginning, I seen the jackets, and I wasn't sure if I was going to pop on the jackets or not. They were about $7 at this Goodwill, whatever regular price is. You can see these were nice. They're slim fit. They have a nice high quality wool to them, which is 120s wool. The higher quality wool, the more expensive it is, or hundreds, not even 120s, hundreds. And it was a regular size, 42 regular, but I had working cuffs where the cuffs unbutton, and that's always somewhat of a good quality too. It's slim fit, had a lot of things going for it. So when I hunt, you see this lining in this. The pants have a similar had in the band that same color, so I could match up the pants to the jackets I was going through. So I sold 2 of these to the same buyer, and he bought another one from me earlier. So he wound up buying all 3 that I had listed this month. One was in January. These 2 were in February, of course. He paid $100 for one and $120 for the other. So I'm always willing to listen to somebody. They say, hey, I see you got another one. Could you do a little bit better on a deal? And I worked out a deal with him. And you can see this is a nicer blue color, a little bit more like, you know, and it had the green lining, really weird. But once again, same thing, size and everything, working cuffs, flat front pants. Really nice. They belong to the same person. They were into them, say, both of these suits were into them for like $15 each, and they took about a month to sell. So that was very good. So moving into it, this next item here is a retail arbitrage find. We got this at the Yellow Tags, Marshalls, markdowns. I paid either $15 or $20 for this, and it's a new with tags Wallace and Barnes MA1 bomber jacket. And we paid for it. It sold for $127. I have 2 different ones. I have this size and I have an extra small, which I still have listed, that I think is in like a green too. Wallace and Barnes is a brand under J. Crew, which actually has a very good following. I think it's a brand that they bought out a few years ago and incorporated it into like their brands. But Wallace and Barnes, some of their stuff does extremely well, and it's a good brand to follow, look for. And like I said, this didn't take too long to sell either. It took about a month to sell. So we got the next item over here. This person bought 2 different jackets from us, which, having a inventory of a lot of jackets and an inventory of multiple things, we kind of get people that buy multiples from time to time. We have a lot of repeat buyers also. This is a blue, basically blazer or sport coat, I should say. The brand is Paul Stewart. And you can see right here, it has the size of 46 extra long. You don't see a lot of extra long suits. You'll see short, you'll see regular, you'll see long, but you don't see extra long all that often. And this had a nice blend of wool and cashmere, which made it help it sell better. This sold in 13 days. I paid $7 for it, so it was a nice quick flip. Paul Stewart's a brand. Some of the stuff is hit or miss. I will pass on a lot of the stuff sometimes. Just depends. It also had working cuffs, which also added to the benefit. Once again, the working cuffs are the ones that unbutton, and it can actually include value to your jackets. I think that's an option, like a Brioni. I think it's like a $300 option to get working cuffs. So, and that's on a Brioni. When that's $3,000 suit, so to add 10% to it, depending on your quality of fabrics, it could be running a lot more. You get into like the 180s wool or 150s, or I think they have like 250. Big money right there. Big money. But let's get into this. And I'm going to show you the other jacket he bought right here. The other jacket is, here we go. This is a celebrity-owned Mr. NBA logo Jerry West. This is a wool and silk blend. Once again, a 46 extra long. and this was made specifically for him. We had 3 or 4 of these at one time. We've had these probably upwards of 3 years. This is the last one. We've had a few of them sold fairly quickly. We had a subscriber to the channel that came across a estate sale of his. They weren't interested in buying any of the clothing, but asked us if they could get anything kind of cheap, would we be interested? And I did say yes. I also, once again, had the working cuffs. Had a really nice plaid to this. So we were into these for, I think we paid about $100 for the 3 of them. I've sold one of them or 2 of them for like 300 and then like 250. So this one sold for 200. You know, it was kind of like near the end of the thing, but sometimes it's good to have people look out for you or help you out. You know, they can make a little bit of money, I'm guessing. I don't know what they paid, but we made some money off the deal. So let me see here. Kind of all over the place, ain't I? This next item is actually item we talked about in one of our one of our videos where we're packing in the morning. It's these Polo Ralph Lauren cargo style military utility tactical pants. I guess you could call them also like parachute pants. They have all these utility pockets. You can see up and down. There's multiple pockets in this. And I've sold, this is probably the third or fourth one I've sold. And I sold one once very high. It was on auction. When we first started, everything went through auction because we didn't have space at the house. And then I think I had like a few items sell really low at auction. And I just said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I think it was some box video game stuff that sold really low. And I was kind of like upset about it. So then we started getting into the whole buy here. I mean, all the auction, you know, did away with the auctions unless we're getting rid of stuff. So you can see, you know, has all these like different kind of like military style tagging and stuff like that. Some, not all of them go for this kind of money. You kind of have to be very picky with which ones, but this sold for $192 and this sold to Russia. And I talked about how there's tracking to Russia and everything now. So not bad. And we were only into this for like $4. I mean, it took a little while to sell. It took about 7 weeks to sell, but hey, $4 into $192. I'll take it any day of the week. Let me tell you right now, I will take that. So getting the bigger, the sales are getting bigger as we're getting near the end here. There's some really good stuff. Now, a little while, probably a month ago, we had some stuff we got from a basketball player's closet. It was about 140 pieces. I only listed about 100 pieces. Some of the pieces were just not worth it to list, even though we paid for them. They're going to family in the Dominican Republic because it was their sizes. And, you know, we could benefit by getting them some nice quality clothes, but it's like brands like Gap or Banana Republic. The NBA basketball player is Chris Herring. He played 2 seasons, one with the Denver Nuggets and then one with the Boston Celtics. There's a 30 for 30 series on him that's quite interesting, and he's actually changed his life and his, you know, did a 160, but this was a better, we paid about $10 per item that was listed. And this was a John Varvatos leather jacket, had a hood. It's a really nice jacket. You could see it was also a good size, 2 extra large, which is always a good thing. And you can see right here, actually, if you want to see when this was from, FA 14, fall of 14 on the tag. So near the top there. But it was really nice. It's sold. I took a best offer of this for $185. You can see I was asking a lot more, which was kind of high as hell. But as soon as I got that, I was almost cleared of making all the money back, and I still got a lot of stuff listed from that lot. But when you start taking off good chunks of, you know, $200 at a time, it starts adding up when you paid $1,000. You want to get out of it and make your money back as fast as possible. So this next item was another item we got from that lot. So we're into this for about $10 also. This sold for $135. It's Rag & Bone, which is a great brand. Always sells well for me. They also made a collaboration once again with Target, which I don't know if that's the thing to do. Not. This is like a shirt jack. It's a wool blend, had snap button front, and it's really nice. I mean, it's like a charcoal gray. See the tag right there, Rag & Bone, New York. And had a woolen nylon blend, made in USA. I've come across some of their stuff. I mean, some of it's hit or miss, but for the most part, I will pick up almost anything from them if it's priced fairly well at the thrift. And the Rag & Bone took 8 days to sell. So not too bad at all. All right, getting into it. This is another item from that basketball player's lot as we're just getting through his stuff. This was the bigger chunks of stuff. We did sell some things in like that $20, $30 range also. This is a Ted Baker. This was new with tags. It's like a cotton jersey style blazer, jacket, sport coat. It was a size 7, which really is about a 46 regular. And it's kind of like a really nice looking jacket, somewhat 2-button front, has patch. I mean, pockets don't have the front pockets here are patch style. They don't have any flaps on them. And looking at it now, the sleeves look long as hell on this damn thing. Those are some long sleeves. Center vent in the back. See the Ted Baker. Some of their stuff does okay. It's hit or miss. I'm kind of careful about what we pick up. I know in UK it's a lot better selling brand, it seems like, than here. But it is high quality. This jacket retailed for $348. We sold this for $120. And Mr. Ted Baker took about 25 days to sell. Getting into it right here. We sell women's stuff over here too. This is a St. John's Collection blazer skirt set. And it has gold hardware. It's knit. I don't think it was a Santana knit because I didn't see the... Yeah, I don't think it had the, I didn't want to say if it was a Santana knit or not. They have really like 2 different kind of knits, and it depends on like how much nylon. I don't remember all this stuff off the top of my head. Had these, I mean, I think this is like a gaudy kind of thing. Lady went back and forth with me on the price, and she wanted me to get that gold chain. This gold chain connects to the other side. It's really weird. Like, I don't know what that was for. Kind of looks gaudy when you look at it. Kind of doesn't look right. So she asked me if I could get that off. She would do $145 plus shipping. And I just said, yeah. I took a pair of pliers, and that was it. I got it off without doing too much, without doing any damage. It was not really that hard. And she actually wore this to a like a dog show, like where the people... dog show, dog competition. I don't know what you call it, but she loved it. She was happy. St. John's Collection's kind of near the top there. They have like St. John's Caviar, which I think is a little bit better than St. John's Sport, which is like their lower entry line, made more for like the younger crowd. Then there's St. John's Basic, which is a little step above that. You can see the buttons right there, same St. John's. Even if you find these like wrecked to where they're damaged and you can get them cheap enough, the buttons will sell, believe it or not. You can sell just the buttons on something because somebody could use it or need it. St. John's is a very expensive brand of women's wear, and not to be confused with that St. John's Bay shit. That's not worth no money. No bueno. So here we're talking about a pair of Shell Cordovan shoes. These are Brooks Brothers. They're made by Alden's. The number you want to look for right there is 2161. You go to the Shell Cordovan website and you see their Shell Cordovan. Shell Cordovan is leather that's made from a horse. Horse's like hind rear area. It's very durable. The shoes are so durable. They don't really wrinkle. Or they wrinkle, but they don't really crease, is what I want to say. And the shoes will last basically a lifetime. You may have to get new soles, but the leather uppers will last. This is a real classic style shoe. You know, you have your Oxford with the cap toe there. It's really classy. You can see right here, there's not really too much wear on the back heels or anything like that. And there's the Brooks Brothers logo right there. And then you have your sets of numbers on the inside here. And the bottoms were in really good condition. You always want to check. You can see where a lot of wear here in the front, or more wear. You always want to press that. And if it's soft, you kind of want to pass, unless it's Shell Cordovan. Shell Cordovan, I would sell. Any other, or maybe Alligator or Hostage possibly, because someone can replace the soles. But nobody's going to replace the soles on a run-of-the-mill pair of Allen Edmonds or even Colhans, because they're just not, they're not worth it. It costs a lot of money to resole a shoe. And, you know, it's just not worth it. Shell Cordovan is. So anyway, these, I found 3 pairs of these. I paid $10 a piece, and these were the last ones to sell. I took a best offer at $250 on these. And I was into these. I think I told you $10. And they took about 7 weeks to sell, which is a good thing. Shoes can be some good money in shoes. And if you're interested in watching shoes, go over and watch Max Profit's channel. He's a very entertaining guy, a husband and wife team that do some reselling and some shoes to be made over there. Some money to be made on shoes, and they actually do a lot more than I do. These are a pair of Stuart Weissmans, and I don't pick up almost anything from this brand. But these I found retail arbitrage at a Marshall's for $30. Was a TJ Maxx, one of the 2 stores. I don't know. I wasn't really too familiar with this style, so I looked it up real fast. And then I found out what the name was, which was the Bromley there. Loafer. They're made of shearling, which kind of gave me an idea. And this color is just like in your face. Like, yeah. Those things are flamingos. Flamingos on your feet. And I had these little gold blocks here in the back. These things are tight. Still had the stickers, but I didn't have a box or anything on the bottom of the shoes. These sold within 5 days for $160. So really nice to move these shoes along. They didn't stick around too long at all, and they are ugly. Ugly. Next, right, we got tongue tied. Let's try that again. Right here, we have something I found for the first time, and I wind up finding 2 suits in this thrift store, and we sold the first one. The name is Acne Studios, and they make clothing that is really in. This was a very slim fit. Pants were very slim fit, like almost to an extra slim fit style. It's a 3-button jacket, but like more in a sense of a 3-roll 2, to where you would not have the top button buttoned. It would just roll over, and be buttoned as a 2-button, kind of like as it is shown there. This was black. And there's the tag, Acme Studios. They make all kinds of things from jeans to sweaters to jackets. I didn't even know they made suits till I came along this. There's not too many listed, so we got a really good price on this. And it has the name of the suit right there, the Drifter. They're made in Romania. And this is a European size 40, which is a US 40. Take 10 off. You can see the pants right there, very slimming. I took the pictures at night here, so you kind of see these pictures are kind of a little shady, some of them. As we'll be changing our photo studio setup soon. And yeah. But I paid $15 for these, and they sold for $2.20. They went to Australia, and these took about 6 weeks to sell. I got one currently listed right now. So we'll see if that one moves here pretty soon. And the last sale that we had is this Anderson and Shepherd brand of jacket. It's made in Savile Row. It's a street of tailors, high-end tailors in England or London, England, that do basically bespoke, which is made to order. Not made to order. Like full tailoring, like you go to the shop and they measure you up and you come back for a few different sittings, and so on, etc. I come across this stuff kind of crazy. I find it in bunches. Like when I found this brand, I found 4 other items with it when I found it this day. So of the few times I found this was the 3rd time I found it. I found 3 suits and 2 jackets, I believe. And then another time I found it, I found 3 suits. And then one time I just found 1 suit. So most of the time I find this, it's like somebody's giving away their whole collection. It's like a oatmeal-ish sand or oatmeal color stone maybe. It was like kind of like a hop sack material, which I should have probably put in the listing, and I did not. It's like that grainy wool. You can see right there the tags on the inside. Pocket, Anderson and Shepherd, 30 Savile Row, London. They have the date. Sometimes they'll have the guy's name. You can see right here the name part was cut out, which is okay with me. I don't need somebody's name. And you can see the, just see it right there. It's kind of a nice jacket. And another brand that we found recently, a whole bunch of them were Henry Poole, which I've only found twice before. And same thing, 10 dress shirts all together. And another time I found like 5 suit jackets or 6 suit jackets recently. So I don't know why I got that there. But that sold for $250. We're into that about $9, and it took about 9 weeks to sell. Some of that stuff sells quick. Some of it doesn't. If you look on eBay, there's only like 40 listings. So it's not the quickest selling, but it has a very good following. And, you know, if you price it correctly, the stuff will sell. It's kind of a little bit harder because the stuff is tailored to a specific person. So unless somebody wants to spend the money to get tailored, you're kind of waiting for people to fit it correctly. But hey, that was our sales. And February is a good month. We were down a little bit. February is good. March is roaring at the moment. March is on fire. I think it's been now 9 straight days, averaging right around $500. So hey, I just keep listing at this point. Like, I actually found something cool. I'll show you. Found this when I was out today. And this is a vintage Chaps by Ralph Lauren. I don't like Chaps anything. I really don't. But it's like this, I forgot what they call this style, pullover. but it's a pullover, and it kind of has, it's very bright colored, but it has this patch here. Chaps, Ralph Lauren. It's older. The model jacket is gasoline. Very interesting. I don't know what it's going to sell for. It's vintage. I'm trying to see if there's a date somewhere on here. I would think this is like mid to late 90s. Actually, I would just have to figure out, because Chaps is no longer part of Ralph Lauren. They sold it off at one point. And then here's the back right here. So I don't know what this is going to go for. It's really cool. I paid up for it. I paid $20 for it, but you know, sometimes you got to pay up for things. But hope you guys like this video. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ding, ding, ding. That did not look good. I ain't starting this all over though. See you guys later. Bye.